call from
Randall.
an inmate at the Virginia Department of Corrections, Red Onion State Prison. To accept this call, press 0.
This is Red Onion Randy, and I'm currently serving 1,214 years in Red Onion State Prison in the state of Virginia in the United States of America without the possibility of parole. This is my podcast, and I hope you enjoy listening to me. Today's episode, I'm going to answer a listener's question. Guadalupe, you wrote to me and said that your boyfriend is about to start serving 15 to 20 years in the federal prison system in the United States of America. What advice do I have to help him do his time? Good question, and I have a lot of advice. One of the things that you have to figure out, because this kind of does determine, what advice I would actually give your boyfriend is he doing time in a maximum security federal prison system, or is he doing time in a lower security federal prison? Because if it's a lower security federal prison he's going to do his time in, people, on the streets and in the criminal world don't call those prisons club fed for no reason. They're actually very, very easy places to do time at. Those are your white-collar criminals and so on and so forth, most of them. Your higher security federal prisons are your terrorists, your hardcore organized crime, think mafia, white supremacist groups and stuff like that. Your hardcore drug dealers, your serial killers, your stone cold murderers and stuff. That time is a whole lot different. So there's kind of different advice I would give for each segment of whatever federal system he's going to. If he's going to, club fed, really all he has to do there is basically just keep his nose clean. Just be respectful, mind your own business, do what the guards tell you to do, and just do your time. Take advantage, absolutely take advantage of every single program that the federal system offers, regardless of what prison you go to. Take advantage of every single program the federal prison system provides, because there are so many programs, and they will help you get out of prison. Now, this is a thing that a lot of people on the outside don't know. The federal prison system actually changed its rules, and they brought back parole for the entire federal system. So if he gets a 15-year sentence, if he doesn't catch no charges, he'll be making what we call 30 for 30. Now, what that means is this. For every 30 days of charge-free good behavior, you get 30 days knocked off the end of your sentence. So if you're doing 15 years, that's 7.5 years if you don't catch a charge that he only has to do, because he's going to get out in half that time for good time. Then on top of that, you got parole. So he can actually wind up out of prison within 4 to 5 years if he keeps his nose clean and he takes programs. Take drug rehabilitation. Take anger management. Take thinking for a change. Take every program that he can get. Tell him to contact his counselor and say, look, what programs are available to me as far as changing me as a human being in the way I think and view the world, and educational. Help me get my degree. If he doesn't have a GED or a high school diploma, get him. If he does have those things, take advantage of the college courses and get a college degree. Because by getting all of these diplomas and degrees and completing all of these programs, he can literally wind up doing 4 to 5 years, and getting out. And by doing all of these programs, he's going to better himself. Even if he's simply doing it, and this is a trick that most guys don't realize. Most guys will do these programs in prison just so they can get that early parole, just so they can get that good time. And guess what? By doing every program they do, it actually winds up helping them a little bit. It actually teaches them how to think. It actually shows them a little bit about who and what they are. So encourage him to do that. And, you might want to not say anything to him about the whole program situation, as far as the benefits of it changing him. Just let that be a pleasant surprise to him. But as far as him getting out of prison way earlier than he's currently thinking he's going to get out of prison, absolutely explain that to him, because it will have him doing it. The first thing is, and like I told this in an earlier episode, the very first day I walked into prison, I don't give a damn who you are. I don't care how many people you've murdered. I don't care how many women you've had sex with. I don't care how big your cock is, how big your muscles are, how tough you are. When you walk into a prison for the first time, that fear crawls up your spine. I consider myself one of the tougher guys I've ever known. And I'm telling you right now, that fear crawls up your spine. So tell them to be aware of that and to breathe, to not let it overwhelm him, to remind him that, hey, there's a lot of guys that come in and out of prison. If they can do it, I can do it too. I just need to do it better than them, because I'm not trying to come back again. Show respect. Always show respect, especially to people you do not like, because you never know who you are dealing with. The most dangerous person in prison is the person who is the most scared, the most afraid, because those are the ones, when you back them into a corner, they're coming out swinging, and they're going to have knives in both hands. Be respectful. Treat everyone with respect. One, it makes you feel better. Two, it doesn't cost you anything to be respectful. And three, you might wind up meeting someone like me who's more than willing to help you out, even if it means we have to go without ourselves. So always show respect. Keep your cell clean. Nobody likes living with a cellie who's dirty and filthy. Trust me, you ain't going to be living with that cellie for very long. As a matter of fact, I remember a story. There was this one guy. For some reason, I don't know what was in this dude's mind, but I was never in the cell with him. I actually had a cellie who told me this story when I was in the cell with him. The one guy would come over to the toilet, and he was staying over top of the toilet, and excuse me for being crude, but he would take a piss. Now, in prison, we don't have toilets like you have at the house where you can lift the lid up. And if it splashes a little bit, it's not that big a deal. You can clean it once a week, unless it gets a little, too carried away. It's a metal toilet. Everything is metal, and it's only one seat. There's nothing to flip up. So the guy would come over, and he would take a piss. And it would splash everywhere, and sometimes it would just, drift off to the side or up the back or whatnot. And then he would shake it. He'd flush the toilet, and then he'd go climb back into bed and start watching TV. And he wouldn't clean the toilet. Dude told him 2 or 3 times, yo, look, man, you take a piss, you clean that toilet seat. I'm not going to sit down and take a dump in your piss. Dude didn't do it. So the 3rd time, dude did that. He turned to walk to get back onto his bed. His cellie punched him dead in his mouth, and he kept on punching him. And he beat the dude half to death. So make sure you stay clean, man. Because nobody wants to live in filth. Nobody. There's just little things like that will go a long way. Now, if you go to the higher security federal prison systems, whatever you do not, I repeat, do not join a gang. I don't care what people say. First of all, you do not have to join a gang in prison to be safe. I have never belonged, and I'm never going to. I'll walk this yard by myself, and I'm just fine. And I will go to any prison system in the world, and I will walk that yard by myself, and I will be just fine. All right. Don't listen to that bullshit. You have to join a gang if you want to be safe. No. Don't be scared, man. All right. I mean, it's as simple as that. Be respectful. You dudes come up on you, and they're going to try to recruit you. And do you know why they want to recruit you? Because when you first join a gang, guess what? You have to do what they tell you. And this is what they're going to tell you. When a CO or another inmate pisses them off, instead of them being a man and going and doing something to that person they're upset with, they're going to send you to stab that person, to kill that person, to attack that person. And they're going to run your time up while they go home. I've seen it, I don't know how many times in the prison system. Dude, it literally happens every single day in prison. You got one of the higher-ups is freaking scared out of his damn mind. Stone cold bitch. But yet, he'll send these dudes joining the gang to go fight for him like he's some shot caller, like he's some baller. Dude's a bitch. So stay away from the gangs, man. Do yourself. And if you don't want to deal with the pressure, there is one surefire way to make every gang in this prison system leave you alone. I don't care whether it's a street gang, it's a black gang, it's a Spanish gang, it's a white supremacist gang, it's a biker gang. Hell, it can be a white-collar Wall Street gang. It could happen. There's one magic sentence that will make every last one of them leave you alone. Yeah, I appreciate it, man, but I'm a Christian. I follow the Lord, my Savior, Jesus Christ. Even if you don't mean it, even if you're simply lying through your teeth, doesn't matter. As soon as they hear the word Jesus Christ, they're going to leave you alone, bro. They will stop recruiting you immediately. And that keeps you from getting in trouble. That keeps you from getting caught up in somebody else's stuff. Dude, I've seen it. I have seen you'll have a gang, and you'll have the real dudes. You know what I'm saying? Them street dudes will be up in the front because they ready to throw down. You know what I'm saying? They live this life for real. They don't necessarily want it to happen, but if it does, so be it, man. They ain't gonna lose sleep over it. But they ain't the one saying nothing. It's the little dude in the back behind everybody that's running his mouth, egging people on to start something because he's got his homies in the front. And they're obligated to protect this bitch because he's a part of their gang. And it's them dudes that always start everything. And forgive me for using the B word. I don't know why I'm cussing. I'm sorry. That's not me. Forgive me for that, for those of you who are listening to me. I do apologize. Those are the things that you have to do. And whatever you do, exercise, work out. Guadalupe, I have an exercise book, and I've gotten my hands on several of them throughout the years, and none of them has worked. But my brother Linwood just bought me an exercise book and sent it to me. And it's called the Complete Calisthenics, 2nd edition, by a man named Ashley Calum. ASHLEYKALYM. Go online to Amazon.com. It ain't nothing but like $16, plus a little shipping and handling, and send that to him. It's paperback, so he'll get it, regardless of what system he's in. Work out, dude. Work out, and it's not about intimidating someone. It's not about poking your chest out and letting dudes, yeah, I'm trying to go. I'll whoop some ass in here. No, it ain't about that. The reason you work out in prison, the main reason you work out in prison, is it relieves stress. It builds self-confidence. It builds self-esteem. It gives you something to do. You have to have motivation and discipline and commitment to achieve anything with a workout routine. It just makes you feel so much better about yourself. That's why I work out all the time. I work out 6 days a week. Sometimes I may take a rest day if I kind of overdo it, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But work out because it stabilizes your mind.
You have 1 minute remaining.
It helps to keep your emotions on an even keel. I could probably do a prison advice for 20 or 30 episodes, if not more than that. Mainly just be respectful, be true to himself, and write him and talk to him and visit him as much as you were able to do, and let him know that he's loved, because you cannot imagine how far that goes in changing a person's belief about themselves and their past. But this has been Red Onion Randy. I hope you enjoy listening to me. For those of you who listen to me on Apple Podcasts, please review me and rate me. Thank you for listening to me. Take care and stay safe.
Thank you for using GTL.